Research and innovation in Futuris.
Every day I said to myself, tomorrow I'll start to eat properly, tomorrow I'll take care of myself. But the following day, I did nothing. And this has been going on for months and years. It's had serious consequences for my body, problems in the stomach, alterations in my blood. I've been in very bad shape.
I'm a bus driver, and now I have serious difficulties moving the steering wheel while driving. It all started with pain along the neck and moving down to my shoulders. My neck pain has been going on for 3 years now.
It took me 9 years to realize that the problem was growing and growing. I just could not see any solution. And this had disastrous consequences, family problems, for instance. I told many lies. My girlfriend was losing trust in me. I became very withdrawn. In my world, there was only me and my problem.
Is this virtual exploration of an island part of the solution for these 3 patients? Some European scientists are convinced it is. So this is the story of how research has managed to develop a serious video game for a serious purpose.
When I see a plate of fruit, I don't touch it. There's something in my brain that says this is forbidden for me because it's healthy food. It's like I don't need healthy food. Instead, I devour all kinds of unhealthy things because I don't know how to feed. I just eat.
Under study in Barcelona is the complex disease binge eating disorder, which leads to a total loss of control when eating. This patient is testing a video game specially developed to help her to recognize her emotions and to regain self-control.
The video game is proving useful as a complementary tool for some patients to control certain aspects of their personality, like impulsiveness, tolerance to frustration. It can teach my patient to improve the organisation of her daily tasks so that she can obtain the goals she is looking for. She learns to understand her different states of mind, and she can control her different reactions. She knows what reactions are well adapted and which are not, to states of mind like sadness or anxiety.
Some patients at this rehabilitation centre suffer from chronic back and neck pain. The same video game helps them to relax their muscles, raise their exercise performance and maintain discipline in their training.
These electrodes are going to measure his muscle tension.
Strekoefeningen zo in de handen.
So he can try to reduce it.
Om speciaal schouderbewegingen te zo.
Yeah, we can see exactly where the patient is. So how fast he is moving, how far his head is moving. So what is his range of movement, but also how tense are his muscles. So there are several different kind of data we can get out of the game and use in our investigation or in the treatment of patients.
The video game has been developed under a European research project called Playmancer.
Right.
Game developers, psychologists and therapists worked together on tailoring adequate scenarios for both pain rehabilitation and mental health treatments.
The game goes beyond virtual reality. Virtual reality reproduces the surrounding environment. but it offers no reward system. Our aim was to motivate patients to know their body and mind better. Video games are entertaining and motivating, so we thought they can provide effective complementary therapies in different diseases. This video game is like a bonding factor between patients and their therapists and doctors.
And the search for video game treatments to some psychological disorders proved to be specially challenging.
At first, I found it bizarre that my addiction to gambling could be treated with a video game, but after some sessions I understood the point. The video game helps me to know my state of mind at any given moment. For instance, it can help me to realise I'm becoming too nervous, so I can work on my own emotions to try to calm myself down.
Indeed, the video game identifies boredom, excitement or anxiety in patients and their cognitive responses with the help of emotion recognition technologies and biosensors. Avoiding undesirable secondary effects like eventual addiction to playing was a main priority.
Technical developers first proposed a number of ideas, but we psychologists thought they were in fact too motivating and could be counterproductive for our patients. For instance, developers proposed a version where patients could play online with other people from different countries. We know from scientific literature that these online video games are highly addictive to certain vulnerable users, so we asked developers to just provide a simple video game that a patient can play alone and without score patterns.
Patients are always supposed to play the video game under medical supervision, and this, scientists say, is a huge difference to existing commercial video games that already recognize users' movements.
When you play with a commercial game, there are, for instance, movements you can trick because you only have to use a console. But the walking you can't trick, you have to really walk. All the measurements are in the game and we get it out. So we can see if his walking pattern is normal or the tension in his muscle. So with the commercial games there's only input, but here is also out of the game.
So, how long will it be before you can get a video game prescription for certain mental disorders or physical rehabilitations? The research proves therapeutical video games can be useful for certain patients. Now, scientists say it's up to policymakers to play the game.
There's no problem with the acceptability of patients and professionals. There's also no problem with the technology, but it is really an organizational change. On short term, it's mostly the problem, at least in our country, of the financial aspects of getting these kind of services reimbursed by our healthcare insurance company, which takes some long time.
In the meantime, researchers are already searching for new therapeutical applications of this and other serious games.